another episode of the African Echo. How are you today? I hope that you are good. Well, we have another episode today, and today we're looking into, I will say, the most important conversation of all. You know, our country, South Africa, has different aspects of gender. Be it, I will say, at one time I was called off to say, don't call them male, it's men. So it's a conversation that have to do with gender equality. We're looking into, before we head into the 16 days of activism, we're looking into the issue of who is holding the people that need to account to the community about how safe are people of women and children, elderly people as well included. And we're looking into that conversation today with Uzanele Ncwane from the Commission for Gender Equality. Uzanele, good morning.
Sanbona, thank you very much, Portia, for having me and for having the Commission for Gender Equality today. We're looking forward to the conversation.
Kuyintokozo kuba nawe. Ngithi kumlaleli, it's the most important conversation because without this conversation, I feel like people are lost. Izwelethu deals with izinto ey'fana ama-issues afana no-GBV day in, day out. I think last we had about 42,000 cases reported. This was just 2 years or a year back. And this is taking us to the fact that there is something wrong in ezwelethu. Mhlawumbe where are we at currently in terms of ensuring that gender really is equal in our country?
Ngiyabonga ngombuzo wakho sesiphosha, and also the background osuthe ukuthi usibekele yona nababukeli nabalaleli. Njengoba ubeke kahle ukuthi where are we with gender and gender equality? It's a difficult question to answer because we have not finalized as a country what I can call gender index.
Oh, okay.
But the Commission for Gender Equality is have in the past and currently continues to undertake studies on exactly the index that you are asking about. So if we're talking about gender index, we can just go back a bit to talk about exactly what is people's understanding of gender. As you had said that kono wathi hayi musukuthi male.
Yes,
it's a man.
Yay.
Yes, it starts from there as to understanding who you are from birth, as born one in terms of the biological identification,
right.
What we will then say, this is a boy child, this is a girl child. Then we also have what we call also intersex, or nobulili obuhlangene obukeka bubo bondawonye. But when we talk about gender, it's the very important part because it's the social construct of what it is to be girl or boy,
right.
Man or woman. It is what in the society, when you are being groomed as you are growing, it what is inculcated in you ukuthi kumele ube ubehave kanjani, okukhombisa ukuthi ke you belong there. And that's where the problem is. It says you belong there. And I might not really belong there because what you see and believe that I belong there is not who I am. It's not what I feel. It's not who I understand myself to be. So that way we need to start understanding that sinama gender ahlukene.
Yeah.
Ama gender ethu ehlukene kumele ngingafakwa endaweni edicidwe abantu abathile ngendlela esikhuliswa ngayo. So that where the issues are. And those issues of this not understanding the difference between my gender and the biological, physical, observable features, that what also then ends up forcing us to end up being in that situation, gender-based violence. because abanye abantu uma uzipresenta ngenye indlela
Yeah.
kunale abayilindele abakwazi ukuphila nako lokho thole sewuhlukumezeka befuna ukukufaka la ababothi kufanele
Ukuthi wena ngala.
ekufanele ubelonge khona. Lapha othinte khona ngama case uthi 2 years ago we had about what 42,000
42,000
cases of gender based violence. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi lapho sisiphosha ofake mhlambi physical violence abantu abazile police station
ama cases.
yes ba reporter ama case state okhuluma ngase sase SAPS.
Yes.
So kuzobe kukhulunywa kukhona abantu abashayiwe khona abantu abarapiwe i-violence nje ehlukahlukene sexual offences 42,000 that was 2 years back.
Yes.
Mina ngifuna ukuthi you're talking about a 42,000 of the reported cases. Kunanga reportiwe. Kunabantu abahlukumezekayo abangakwazi ukuyoreport ngezathu mhlambe masiqhubeka sixoxa esizofika kuzona.
Yo, njengoba uzwela ke, like I said in the very beginning, it's the most important conversation to have. And i-worry yami Sis Zanele, as we head towards the conversation itself, is that it's like a pattern that we have in our country. Every year when we're heading towards the 16 days, we see a rise in violence, in GBV violences, at least the ones that become public and whatnot. Kwenzakalani?
Kukabili. It could be maybe really there's not a rise. It's just because it's 16 days and there's a focus
on that
particular phenomena. Different media houses during this time aya focusa kakhulu kuma issues of gender based violence against women and children. Kanti throughout the year vele bekwenzeka, right? And that is why we as the Commission for Gender Equality have been advocating for what we call 365 days of no violence against women and children. Akungabi indaba ekhulunywa kuphela masifika ku 16 days. Kodwa we have also seen with different studies that ngazo lezi ikhathi either during Women's Month if uzokhumbula ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi siyasibona ama cases ebaphezulu futhi gruesome esibonile kule minyaka edlule kuze kube alive abantu beziposta beyenza imgilingwane ye violence against women ngesikhathi sani se Women's Month. Kanjalo ke nangalesikhathi siya kuyona se 16 days on no violence against women and children sinako ukubona kwenzeka it's what then we call a serious backlash that is perpetrated during these particular times. Ungathi kuba khona into ethi kubenza bokubi ngizoyenza ke ngalesikhathi vele enithi ayingenziwa ngaso. So we still need more research on the mindsets of the perpetrators ukuthi ngempela kungani ngalesikhathi kufanele ngabe kuyehla ngako bayazithiba udlame nomoya iyehla sibone kodwa inyuka. Kodwa ke impendulo emfishane ethi sisiphosha, it is actually not a rise. It's the reporting and the focus at the time that is helping, because we're not saying go wrong ukuthi media houses do that. Siyabonga ukuthi they are focusing because it helps to show the ukuthi kwenzakalani, but we are also saying please let us report throughout the year.
Absolutely. So Zanele, one thing that I always have in the back of my mind, and I think I've heard many people as well in the space talking about it, was how much have we done since the commission yaqalwa to get that accountability part from our government? Because there's been commissions, there have been hearings, there have been sittings in communities. I attended one earlier this last month that was also focusing on these matters. But kukangaki esibona ukuthi there are strides as watholayo khona.
Mkhulu umsebenzi osuwenziwe by the country itself. I'll start by saying the establishment on its own, the establishment of the Commission for Gender Equality, which is which you find establishment yet in the Constitution, Section 187. That on its own is an indication that South Africa intends to ensure that there is gender equality in the country. Our mandate is to make sure that there's protection of gender equality. There's development of gender equality where there is lack. But most importantly, we also are charged with monitoring the development of gender equality. So if you go to our Act, Commission for Gender Equality Act, you will find that it gives us powers to do one of the things that you've asked, to hold entities accountable on the achievement of gender equality. Now, we have been doing the accountability sessions for many years, but let me just quickly speak to some of these processes here in KwaZulu-Natal, as we're based in KwaZulu-Natal, in relation also to gender-based violence.
Yes.
Last year in November, we held what we call public hearings, and that is from our legal department mandate.
All right.
Maybe just to give a bit of a background.
Yes, please.
The commission, we do our work using different departments as empowered by the Constitution and our Act. So we have a research department, and that way I was talking about the issue of a gender index.
Okay. Yes.
But there's also a whole lot of other work that that department has been undertaking. In KwaZulu-Natal, that department, we've just been looking at women's access to land.
Right.
We've also looked at issues of teenage learner support and teenage pregnancy, which is also one of very critical topics,
Yes,
which also relates at somewhere the intersectionality of teenagers and pregnancy and gender-based violence. Yes. So that's the research department. We also have a public education and information department. That department is responsible for educating public on issues of gender and gender equality.
Yes.
And we also are out there doing a lot of education, also using media. And we also have other platforms like social media platforms. Right. We also have with a legal department where now we place investigations and hearings. We also take complaints, public complaints, where an individual can come to the Commission for Gender Equality to ask assistance. I'll make an example on the issue of gender-based violence. You can come and inform the commission that, in 2010, I experienced a rape and I laid a charge. I went to SAPS. I did get a case number, but up till today, umseshi akabuyi kimi, bathatha specimen DNA ayikho namanje, so icala lami limile. You come to the commission, ukuthi amaphoyisa wangisizi, can you assist? Then we do look into those matters. But the other part of the work that we do under legal department, which is what now I want to talk about, is the public investigation and hearings.
Right.
Last year, we looked at how is the province of KwaZulu-Natal implementing the strategy that was put in place in 2020, which is the National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide.
That's President mostly talks about.
So that strategy, we wanted to see, because the strategy responds directly to all issues of gender-based violence. So you're asking us, how do we hold people accountable? We did. We called in SAPS, the police department, the policing.
It's police, yes.
We also called Department of Health.
Okay.
Because we looked at the strategy has different pillars. So we looked at pillar 3, that is looking at justice.
Okay.
SAPS, Health, DSD,
okay.
NPA, and Justice and Constitutional Development. We call these 5 departments to come and account. This is a legal process where we serve the department or the entity, because it's not only government department. We have also called private sector for the same purposes, right? So you get served with a notice, served by the sheriff, for you to come and account to the Commission for Gender Equality on implementing and providing services for the people of South Africa. In KwaZulu-Natal, that's what we looked at last year. And we have a report on this process with our findings. You will find it in our website. But I can tell you briefly, Portia, nababukeli nabalali.
Right, ithini. Sicoshele nje somewhere.
Yebo, ukucosha nje kafishane. Ngizosho ngithi la uyathola ukuthi ka SAPS, right? So uyathola ukuthi bayasebenza. But ba overstretched. Because bancane. Bebancane also nama resources amanye anjengani izimoto. Siye ngapha ka health, uyafika ka health kunama, they're doing wonderful. Bane stress, kunama positions avalwa, forensic nurses are no more there, but also biggest challenge that we noted there with Department of Health is the issue of DNA preservation. Ukuthi bayayibeka i-DNA, but kunento eyaba very disturbing that we found ukuthi babesebenza some form of a protocol ukuthi sizoyibeka le DNA for a certain period of time. If investigation kungatholakali umuntu omesha le DNA, bese destroy. Now you see that there is a very critical matter, because ungathola ukuthi ayimeshi umuntu le DNA manje, but in the next 3 years
then someone appears
izomesha umuntu, yothi imesha kutholakala ukuthi imesha nama case awu-70 sesibambe serial rapist. But le protocol iyenzani, uyabona ukuthi iyasimoshela. Yes, so those are some of the issues. Then you come to DSD, there's also other issues. There's especially the issue of victim support, right? That's that one biggest thing. You go to NPA, amacala angena kanjani, but also there's this dual management of what we call Thuthuzela care centers. And then ilaphaya ifuna multi-stakeholder a partnership, because njoba kuyithuthuzela iba yithuthuzela uma ngoba kukhona iphoyisa eli-base laphaya, iba yithuthuzela khona i-social work elizokwazi ukwenza i-counseling, yithuthuzela isesibhedlela khona udokotela ozokwenza i-physical examination. We have the highest in KwaZulu-Natal, we have the highest crimes of gender-based violence. And asinawo amathuthuzela anele. Not in many places. Again, kune issue yama shelter. We don't have shelters in KwaZulu-Natal, which is also another problem. Ekugcineni sizosabe sesibuka ukuthi Department of Justice and Constitutional Development in terms of cases now, charger enkantolo. Remember also the child-friendly courts, amanyama courts awanayo into ekwazi ukusupporta the children to be able to testify. kumele ibe serumini, akube khona i-court preparation person ozokwazi nokusebenzisana nomntwana, umntwana akwazi ukufakaza in camera. Kwezinye ama-court uyafika i-system ayisebenzi, umntwana ngeke akwazi ukukhuluma ngapha bamuzwe ngalena ayisebenzi. So these are the challenges that we've found. We've made our findings and we've made our recommendations to all these departments, and we've also escalated to their national departments. We're in on the 24th of October. We had this national engagement where we also wanted to then present some of these findings.
Right. Oh, wow.
That is part of the work that we are doing.
A huge load of work.
Naguma entities that have resources, they remember ngalesikhathi. So asingalahli leli thuba ukulisebenzisa. We still need to have these conversations for that reason, but we also still need to have these conversations and more.
In a longer length.
Yes, and more, because isimo asishintshile. We still need to educate. We still need to hold people accountable.
Definitely.
There are areas that we have, as in like communities, esingakwazi ukufinyelela kahle kuona. So we need platforms like this, right? That we said we are committing as a country. We're committing to that international standard. And this is part of the work that we do through our research department to monitor South Africa in ensuring that we comply with the international frameworks that we have acceded to. So if you go to our research documents and our research reports, you will be able to see where we put those reports, like the Beijing Platform of Action. Where are we with the Beijing Platform of Action? You will see in our reports. The Maputo Protocol. Maputo Protocol is something that I always say, please people engage with this protocol, because it is one of the protocols that talks and empowers and gives rights for women and girls, particularly in rural areas and traditional setups. So this is part of the work that we do in our research department, looking into those elements in terms of international instruments.
Wavele wayithinta wahlaba esikhonkosini engathi uyangizwa ngaphakathi. I'm going to that issue or the part because we are cultural people.
Yes.
Uthi omunye ubaba mebuka i-podcast, hey, uhlala ugqoka amabhuluko wemambambo. Now, it tells you ukuthi nakuba sithi sikule century esikuyona, but people still want certain ways to preserve certain ways.
Mhlambe u-April, May, unothisha wayethi mina eklasini lami sekuthwaliwe ingane zo5 azisekho esikoleni leyingane. Sike sasebenza kakhulu ngapha eMzimkhulu, senza ama community dialogues. Kukhona ilanga esathi siphuma komunye umhlangano sesiya driver ke sibuyela la esasilala khona, kanti sohlangana nezingane zesikole. Nangu untombazane ugqokile uniform, kodwa ke la ubese
usembathisiwe
umbathe itshali nje elincane. Hayi bese ngithi yake sehlisa imoto sibuze. Siyabuza ukuthi ko Ntombi wasumbatha kushisa kangaka mntanami. Then uya explain hayi sendagana uneminyaka emingaki, una 15
bakithi.
Uyabona sekukhona neqhuzwana lapha lesizo.
Hawu bantu.
Uma sechaza uyasho ukuthi waganiswa, egcineni uma silandela siyabona ukuthi ukuthwala okwenzeka la, umyeni wakhe kwayimanje akekho, usebenza eGoli, njobe egoduka manje yena usehlala emzini. Yebo, ekukhulumeni kwethu naye wayethi kodwa ngibonga kona nje ukuthi basangivumela ukuthi ngifunde ngoba ngiyasithanda isikole. Ngoba umyeni wakhe mas ngikhumbula kahle was someone ona 28 and this child ngaleso sikhathi una 15 babemthwale ena 14 engikhuluma ngaso zahlangana sisiphosha zisizwa ile NGO eyayilapha ne-University of KwaZulu-Natal sangenelela ke nathi wangena uNPA yangena Office of the Prim but into engayibona okuyiyona eyangenza ngabuka ukuthi power of education, power of empowerment, because these young girls they came together and with our assistance produced what they called a protocol on ukuthwala, which they presented to inkosi yendawo namaphoyisa, which was saying asifuni ukuthwalwa. In the case of umntwana ethwaliwe silindele ukuthi nenze lokhu nalokhu nalokhu.
Right.
Okwase kungenelelwa uNPA nama officer njengawethu was to make sure ukuthi le document is illegal. Yabona, so mayisho ukuthi makwenzekile ngathwalwa abasekhaya bazoba nelungelo lokuvula icala ngoba before that bebengakwazi ukuvula icala bekuvele kuyiwe konkosi kuyoxoxiswana kuphume umyalezo othi nibobhekela ngapha kalahlekile uPhoshiya nibombheka ngapha. So we culturally, because we even have a commission uCRL sinelungelo lokupractice cultural and traditional beliefs and customs ethu, but they must be within the law. Umthetho if uthi awukwazi ukuba sebudlelwaneni uzoboshwa, I will call on ababukeli nabalaleli ukuthi bangagooglisha babuke i-case okuyiyona eyasixazululela ukuthi uyathwala uyaboshwa, ibizwa ngeJezile case. Jezile case bangayivakashela nje leyo case ikhona nje ku Google, awudingi ukuthi uzuye mhlambe kwi site yaka law, no, just go to Google Jezile case uzoyithola, uthola uJezile owagcina egwetshwa 22 years ngokuthwala ingane. Abakuba ingane bawathatha amalobolo nabo bakwazi ukuthi baboshwe bathola ezabo igwe.
I know asiphokophelele khona. As we are concluding, Sizanele, there is always a fact that economic empowerment, GBV, and lack thereof of equality of gender.
Sisposha isuka kude, right? Because we need to discuss in the esibiza the structural violence and also the impact of gender inequality based as a result also of patriarchy.
Oh yes.
Because if you look at issues, the impact of patriarchy, it has given imbalance powers. More power to men over women, and this is more power in political, economic, and social setup. Historically so, right? And that has resulted in perpetration of violence and ukucindezeleka kwabantu besifazane, even in the minds ukuthi siphokophele silwele as women ukuya phambili. Now when you look at the national strategic plan that I was talking about, it has different pillars, right? There's care pillar, there's justice pillar, but there's a pillar which is called economic power. That pillar is looking at how, as a country, we intend bring women to ensure that economically baba ne freedom and emancipation, because we have seen that GBV abantu abakwazi ukuphuma kulama relationships ngoba bathi badependile. We've also seen this kuma cases uthola especially where in families, mainly in families where ingane is being sexually abused by umalume, and umalume abafuna boshwe like her because we breadwinner. Kugcina sekuthiwe asithule ngale ndaba. It is because of what? Economic dependence. So that pillar is looking especially into that, to unlock economic chances for women, but not only based on not only the NSP. If you will also look at the country and the many things that are happening right now under our leadership in terms of G20, a lot of opportunities coming through for women-led businesses. In KwaZulu-Natal, the Office of the Premier garnered some, I think it was about 20 million to support women-based businesses. I think I remember that. Yes. I think this is one of the things that maybe media houses you can follow. Absolutely. Where is that process? Because the last I remember, people had applied. So we now need to monitor. Okay.
Absolutely.
We need to monitor where that process is for us here in KwaZulu-Natal. But also, the other part is the commitment of 30% for women-owned businesses, government departments. Ukuthi mangabe i-Department of Treasury izoba nento eyenzayo ifuna maybe i-supply of ama-ceiling board, sithi ayenze sure ukuthi i-percent elithile linikwa women-owned businesses. Monitoring those activities is part of the work we do. We've been part of the working with the legislature to really monitor spend by departments in terms of giving businesses to women-owned companies. So those are part of the things that we really need to look at. But we cannot conclude the conversation, Sis Portia, without really now looking at the issue of this fragile economy and how men have lost jobs, right?
Yeah.
And the hegemonic masculinities of men understanding ukuthi they are the sole providers, manje akanawo umsebenzi akasebenzi. So that has also created
some distractions as well.
Exactly. And that is why we're talking now about peaceful masculinities, how we need to unlearn not only men but also other genders,
as females as well.
Yes, to unlearn the belief that men, they are the providers. We need to start learning partnerships, work, equality, care, and that's what peaceful masculinities talks about, Sis Portia, and that another conversation.
It is. It's just unlocked another box. I think you will be back, Sis Zanele, with another one because there's so much more. The teenage pregnancy, I know that the Premier just launched a very important campaign just last week.
Yes.
That was amazing for the province of KZN. Absolutely.
Exactly. It's because we are one of the
stakeholders that are also.
But we also, like a province, we have a big issue with teenage pregnancy.
Yes.
And now, for the Commission for Gender Equality, we did look into the study on teenage pregnancy, but our focus was actually more on the learning part. Ukuthi usekhulelwe untombazana uyakwazi nokuqhubeka esikoleni because i-policy yakhona lapha ka-education ithi makaqhubeke ahambe sekuyisikhathi esithile yoteta aphinda abuye. But we found, especially in schools in rural areas, we had found ukuthi no, hayi bayaxoshwa abantwana. But also in other communities I thought hayi uma engaxoshiwe kufuneka ukuthi zonke insuku ekuseni aphelezelwe umzali ozofika ahlale ngaphandle ukuthi shuti ukuthi kuqu thatha ingane uyihambise. Yes. We are now saying, okay, that's what we have done, but we have now raised a bar to now work directly with men and boys because phela bayikhuleliswa labantwana.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So we are working with men and boys. Early this year, we had a symposium as the Commission for Gender Equality on understanding the role of men in curbing gender-based violence, not in perpetrating gender-based violence, in curbing it. What is it that they are doing? So we're looking at and we're partnering with men, working with them to ensure that men are coming forward to say, no, stop, this is wrong. As we were doing that, we learned that, you know, when you start to talk about men who are calling out other men, they also, those men are being they're finding themselves on the wrong side of the other men, because because when you start to talk about peaceful masculinities, you need to start to distance yourself away from into eti to be a man kumele ube strong, ushaye, and respect. So if we, as we're working with men and boys, looking at the issue of teenage pregnancy, it starts with respect. You start at your old age of 27, if you're 14. And we want men to hold each other accountable. That's the work we are doing in the as we're working with men and boys.
Your time, sis.
Siyabonga kakhulu. We are open to coming back, and we also invite ababukeli nabalaleli to please visit our website, and you will get more information. And then you can also call us, invite us to the communities. We can go with you to communities. As I said, we have a public education unit. We would love to come to those communities and have engagements.
There you have it. You have it. So communities, let's gather. Let's get us Zanele to come and educate us and inform us and help us unlearn some of the information that we learned, but now the time has come for us to unlearn. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back again with another episode. God bless you. Until that time, stay tuned and check out our website. It's African Echo, or rather african-echo.co.za. All the information is there should you want to be part of the conversations, and you also want to be part of just being our next guest. We appreciate that a lot. Goodbye. Till next time.